I'm Mumu from Susan's family. Today I'll teach you the crocheting method for Lulu Elegance cardigan from the Retro Nostalgia series. This sweater is divided into the back body, right and left front bodies, joining together. Crocheting the edging and buttons. First, crochet the back body, then, crochet the right and left front bodies. Next, join these sections together. Then, crochet the edging. Finally, secure the buttons. Note that the finished product uses space-dyed yarn for crocheting. The starting position has different colors. The effect of the crochet work will also be different. You can refer to the finished product or choose your starting color section according to your preference. First, learn the back body, divided into Section 1, Section 2 and Section 3. First, crochet Section 1. Use the chain ring method for casting on. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Several crochet stitches will be applicated. All are marked on the chart. We won't list them here. Please watch my demonstration of the specific crocheting method. First, cast on. Take the corresponding yarn. The swatch is made for convenience to see more clearly. Using cotton yarn for demonstration. Random colors. For specific yarn, color scheme and hook size, please refer to the detail page of our product and paper instructions. First, use the chain ring method for casting on. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand, wrap it around your left little finger. Pass through between the middle finger and index finger. Pinch the yarn tail with your left middle finger and thumb. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Position it underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Put the hook on the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Gently tighten. Adjust the size of the loop on the hook. Now begin crocheting chain stitches. Yarn over and draw through. One chain stitch is completed. This braid represents one stitch. The strands on both sides are called half stitches. The carried yarn on the wrong side is called the inner mountain. Place a stitch marker on the right side half stitch to mark it. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can use a safety pin or paper clip instead. Continue crocheting chain stitches. Yarn over and draw through. This is the second stitch. Repeat this process. Continue crocheting 4 more chain stitches. Fold the chain in half after completing. With the braid-like texture facing you. Do not twist it. On the front loop of the first chain stitch, which is the marked position, work 1 slip stitch. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Pull through all loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. The joining slip stitch at the end of the round doesn't count as one stitch. Tighten it. This starting chain is done. You can remove the stitch marker. Now work the first round. Chain 3 as the turning chain for the double crochet. Counts as one double crochet in the front loop and back loop of the top chain stitch on the right side. Place a stitch marker to mark. Then work one double crochet in the chain space. Yarn over. Insert. Yarn tail on top of the hook. Weave in the ends as you go along. Pull the yarn through. 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. 2 loops remaining. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. 1 double crochet is now complete. The braid on the upper right is the stitch of the double crochet. Continue to work 1 double crochet in the chain space. Yarn over. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 2 times. The second double crochet is now complete. Continue to work 15 double crochets in the space. If it doesn't fit, move to the right slightly. After completing, check the stitch count. Including the beginning chain, total of 18 stitches. Finally, on the beginning chain, pick up the 2 strands marked by the stitch marker. Work 1 slip stitch. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Pull through all loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. Tighten. The first round is now complete. We'll work on the clearer texture side, as the right side of the entire piece. This is the wrong side. You can place a stitch marker on the right side to mark it. Cut off any unfinished yarn tails. Move on to crochet round 2. First make 2 chain stitches as beginning chain, corresponding to the starting chain below. On the left side 2 double crochet stitches. Work 1 double crochet, 2 stitches together. First correspondingly make 2 incomplete double crochets for round 2. Yarn over. Insert into the left stitch. The stitches are a bit puckered here. Don't miss any. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. First stitch done. Continue to crochet the second stitch. Yarn over. Insert into the adjacent stitch. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Second stitch done. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Double crochet decrease is completed. The braid on the upper right is the stitch. Mark it. Convenient for finding the slip stitch position later. Move on to chain 5 as a transition. Pay attention not to make the chains too tight. On the left side, work 1 double crochet, 3 stitches together into 3 stitches. First pick up the stitch and correspondingly make 3 incomplete double crochets. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Double crochet 3 stitches together is completed. Continue to chain 5 as a transition. Then work 1 double crochet, 3 stitches together. First make 3 incomplete double crochets. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Double crochet 3 stitches together is done. Continue downward correspondingly making double crochet 3 stitches together. Continue downward correspondingly making double crochet 3 stitches together. Both left and right sides have 5 chain spaces as transition. Complete this round. After completing the last 5 chain stitches, join with a slip stitch at the starting stitch. The second round is complete. Continue to crochet the third round. First on the left chain space. Work a slip stitch as transition. Oval-shaped slip stitch does not need to be pulled tight. Then make 3 beginning chains. Mark the top chain stitch. Work 6 double crochets in the same chain space. After completing, chain 2. In the next chain space, continue with 7 double crochets. After completing, chain 2. Below, pick up the chain space from the previous round. Work 7 double crochets respectively. Between each group of double crochets, 2 chain stitches as transition. Complete this round. After the last group of double crochets is completed, at the starting chain stitch, pick up the marked position and work 1/2 double crochet to join. Yarn over. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Half double crochet completed. Round 3 is done. Move on to round 4. Chain 1 as the beginning chain for the single crochet, which doesn't count as one stitch. Work 1 single crochet in the chain space below. Insert. Pull the yarn through. 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Single crochet completed. Mark the stitch. Then work 3 chains as a bridge. Skip the beginning chain. Pick up the stitch and correspondingly make 5 double crochets. After completing, work 3 chains. Work 1 single crochet in the left chain space. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Single crochet completed. Continue with 3 chains. On the middle 5 of the 7 double crochets on the left side. Correspondingly make 5 double crochets. Check after completing. This round is to pick the chain spaces of the previous round and work single crochets. Pick the middle 5 double crochets of the previous round, and correspondingly make double crochets. Work 3 chains as a bridge between single crochets and double crochets. Repeat this process. Follow the pattern to complete this round. After finishing the last 3 chains, join with a slip stitch at the starting stitch. The 4th round is completed. Smooth out the fabric. Measure the dimensions of the fabric. Compare with the data given in the chart. If there's a significant difference, adjust tension by picking up stitches and recrochet to avoid affecting the finished product's dimensions. Now work the 5th round. First on the left chain space. Work 1 slip stitch as transition. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in the same space. If you can find the starting stitch, you don't need to mark it. Chain 3. On the middle 3 of the 5 double crochets on the left side. Correspondingly make 3 double crochets. Chain 3. Then pick up 2 chain spaces on the left. Work 1 single crochet in each, with 4 chain transition between them. After completing, chain 3. We consider the double crochet and following stitches as one group. Then follow this group pattern. Refer to the chart to complete this round. After finishing the last single crochet, chain 2. Make a half double crochet to join in the starting single crochet stitch. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through in once. A half double crochet is complete. This completes round 5. Continue to crochet round 6. Make 3 beginning chains. Work 3 double crochets in the chain space below. After completing, chain 3. In the middle stitch of the 3 double crochets on the left side, work 1 double crochet. Chain 1. And 1 double crochet. We consider these 3 stitches as group 1. Continue crocheting 3 chains. In the second chain space on the left side, work 4 double crochets. Three chains and 4 double crochets. The crocheted stitches in this hole we consider as group 2. Later work group 1 in the middle stitch of the double crochets. In the 4 chain space between single crochets work group 2. 3 chains as a bridge. Complete this round. After completing the last 3 chains, work 4 double crochets in the starting hole. One chain stitch. Make a half double crochet to join in the top chain of the beginning chain. Complete this group 2. Round 6 is completed. For the 7th round, after making 3 beginning chains, work 4 double crochets in the hole below. Then work group 1 in the chain space of group 1 from the previous round. Work 5 double crochets in the chain space of group 2, 7 chains and 5 double crochets. 3 chains as a bridge between them. Remember to work 4 chain stitches at the end. Make a double crochet to join in the beginning chain. For the 8th round, continue working in the hole of group 1. Work 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. We call it group 3. Work the corresponding number of double crochets in the 7 chain space. The transition chains remain 3 chains. All stitch techniques have been demonstrated before. Remember to mark the beginning chain? Convenient to find the insertion position at the end. Everyone refer to the chart to complete it. Next I'll demonstrate the 9th round. First make 3 beginning chains, corresponding to the beginning chain below. Then work a chain as a transition. Start crocheting the corresponding stitch pattern from the left stitch. Mind the chain stitches between double crochets, don't miss them. The number of transition chains for group 3 on both sides differs from before. Follow the pattern chart to complete this round. After completing the last chain stitch, join with a slip stitch at the top of the starting chain. If there's no marker here, count up from the bottom to find the 3rd chain stitch. Pick up 2 strands to insert the hook and crochet. The 9th round is completed. For the following rounds, work group 3 corresponding to group 3. Work the corresponding number of chain transitions on both sides. At these consecutive single chain spaces, pick up chain spaces to work single crochets. Work the corresponding number of chains between them. The number of chains between single crochets will vary later. Pay attention to stitch patterns at beginning and ending positions following the chart. Don't make mistakes in the number of transition chains. Measure as you crochet to check the dimensions. Compare with the chart measurements to ensure the final size fits properly. Follow the chart to complete it. That concludes the explanation for section 1. Next we'll learn section 2. Work back and forth on the upper part of section 1. The new stitch techniques used are treble crochet decrease and treble crochet. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start with the first row. Continue crocheting with the yarn from the end of section 1. To make it clearer for everyone, I'll demonstrate using a different color yarn. Chain 1 as beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in the same space below. To make section 3 easier, place a marker in the chain space on the right side. Continue with 4 chains as transition. since the next row ends by inserting the hook into the third chain. Mark it here. In the 3 chain spaces on the left, work 1 single crochet in each, with 4 chains as transition between them. After completing, chain 4. Work 1 double crochet in the second double crochet of pattern 3 on the left. Work 2 double crochets in the chain space. Three chains and 2 double crochets. After completing, work 1 double crochet on the left stitch. We consider the stitches crocheted on pattern 3 as one pattern 4. Continue with 4 chains. Pick up the chain space between single crochets. Work single crochets in each, with 4 chains as transition between them. After completing, continue crocheting according to the chart. Finish pattern 4 on the 4th single crochet on the left. Mark the chain space on the left. Row 1 is completed. Continue to crochet row 2. Start by carrying the yarn across. Stretch the loop. Thread the yarn ball or fabric through the loop. Pull tight. Then turn the work. With the wrong side facing you. On the left side of the single crochet on the previous row edge, on the 3rd chain stitch. Insert the hook into the front loop and back bump of 2 strands. Draw the yarn through. Adjust it. Carry the yarn close to the fabric. This completes the carrying yarn technique. Then make 3 beginning chains. Work single crochets in the 2 chain spaces on the left side, with 5 chain stitches as transition between them. After completing, work 4 chains. On pattern 4 on the left side. On the second double crochet stitch from the right, work 1 double crochet. Remember the stitches are on the upper left when working on the wrong side. Don't pick the wrong position. Work 1 double crochet in the adjacent stitch. Work 2 double crochets in the chain space. Four chain stitches and 2 double crochets. Continue picking up stitches to correspondingly make 2 double crochets. 4 chain stitches. Continue crocheting according to the pattern chart afterward. Complete the last single crochet. Work 1 double crochet at the stitch marker position. Row 2 is completed. Now work on row 3. Make 3 beginning chains. Pay attention to the pattern chart afterward. The last stitch of the next row goes into the turning chain. For convenience in finding the position, you can mark it. When encountering turning chains later, mindful to judge whether to mark based on actual situation. Continue with 1 chain stitch as transition. Turn the work. Refer to the chart and work the corresponding stitch. The ending double crochet goes into the turning chain of the previous row. Row 3 is complete. Continue to row 4. Make 4 beginning chains. Turn the work. On the first stitch of the continuous double crochets on the left side, work 1 treble crochet, yarn over twice. Insert the hook into the stitch, draw the yarn through, yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. Treble crochet is complete. Continue working 1 treble crochet on the left stitch. Yarn over twice. Insert the hook into the stitch. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. Treble crochet is complete. Work 1 more treble crochet in the next stitch. Chain 3. Starting from the bottom crocheted stitches. Correspondingly make 3 treble crochets. Work 3 treble crochets in the left chain space. Chain 3. 3 double crochets. Chain 3. And 3 double crochets. Correspondingly make 3 double crochets on the left stitch. Chain 3. Starting from the same insertion point below, correspondingly make 3 double crochets. Continue crocheting according to the pattern chart. Pay attention to the stitch technique changes on these double crochets at the ending. After completing the last 2 treble crochets, work 1 treble crochet cluster. First work an incomplete treble crochet on the left stitch. Yarn over twice. Insert. Pull through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat twice. The incomplete treble crochet is done. Next, on the turning chain of the previous row, work another incomplete treble crochet. Yarn over twice. Insert. Pull through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat twice. The second incomplete treble crochet is done. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Treble crochet decrease is completed. The 4th row is done. Now work the 5th row. Carry the yarn across to the ending chain space of the previous row. Make 3 beginning chains. Follow the pattern chart. After completing the 2 double crochets in the last chain space, work 1 double crochet decrease. First, make 1 incomplete double crochet at the same insertion point, and 1 incomplete double crochet in the left chain space. Make 1 incomplete double crochet in each spot. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Double crochet decrease is completed. The 5th row is done. For the final row, carry the yarn across according to the pattern chart. Crochet the corresponding stitches on the previous row. Pay attention to the stitch pattern changes. Don't crochet the wrong stitches. Check the insertion point for the final double crochet decrease in the chart. Take a look after completing, using the chain spaces on both sides as boundaries. The continuous stitches on the outer side mark the shoulder position. Place a stitch marker on the stitch adjacent to the chain space. The middle part dips inward to form the neck opening. Complete it by referring to the pattern chart. Finally, cut the yarn. I'll demonstrate the method for cutting the yarn. Crochet a chain stitch to secure. Pull a large loop, leave a 5 cm yarn tail and cut off. Pull tight. That's the end of the last row. During crocheting, you might run out of yarn. Need to join new yarn. Here I'll demonstrate the joining method with a swatch. Position randomly. Tie a knot with the new yarn tail on the previously left yarn tail. For variegated yarn, try to choose similar color sections. Push it to the bottom. Place the knot and yarn tail on the wrong side of the fabric. Then continue crocheting. If it's convenient to weave in the ends, do it together. For positions where it's not convenient to weave in the ends, leave them on the back side. Finally, you can hide the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side. You can weave in the tail for a few more stitches. Trim excess tail. This is the method of joining yarn. That concludes the crocheting explanation for section 2. Next, let's move on to section 3. Work back and forth on the remaining part of section 1. There are many new stitch techniques involved. They are all marked on the pattern chart, so I won't list them here. Please watch my demonstration of the specific crocheting method. Start with row 1, with section 1 right side facing up. Place section 2 underneath. Mark the position on the right side of section 1. Join yarn in the left chain space. You can make a knot. Pull through a loop. Adjust it. Joining yarn is done. Make one beginning chain to start. Work one single crochet in the same stitch. Then follow the pattern to work the corresponding stitch techniques. The method is similar to row 1 of section 2. The ending single crochet perfectly matches the chain space before the left stitch marker. Row 1 is completed. Move on to row 2. Chain 4 to start this round. Turn the work. Work a double crochet in the second to last stitch of the previous row. The next row ending will insert the hook into the double crochet. Mark the stitches. Then refer to the pattern. After completing the chain stitch, the next symbol shows a treble crochet and double crochet cluster. Crochet on the wrong side here. Following the crocheting sequence, watch the chart from left to right. First work an incomplete double crochet in the left single crochet stitch. Then in the last single crochet, work an incomplete treble crochet. Yarn over and draw through in once. The treble crochet and double crochet cluster is done. You can turn to the right side to check. The texture matches the chart. Row 2 is complete. Continue to crochet row 3. Make 3 beginning chains. Turn the work. Refer to the chart. After completing the last half double crochet, work a half double crochet and double crochet cluster. First, make an incomplete half double crochet on the left stitch. Yarn over, insert the hook, draw the yarn through. The incomplete half double crochet is done. Then on the edge double crochet stitch, make an incomplete double crochet. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. The half double crochet and double crochet cluster is complete. Row 3 is completed. Continue to crochet row 4, start by carrying the yarn across. Refer to the chart. After completing the last 3 chain stitches, the ending symbol is a treble crochet and double crochet 2 together. On the wrong side, watch from left to right. First, on the same chain space and left stitch, correspondingly make 2 incomplete double crochets. Then make an incomplete treble crochet on the second stitch to the left. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops in once. The treble crochet and double crochet 2 together is done. You can see, when encountering different stitch patterns combined, follow the crochet sequence according to the chart. Crochet the corresponding incomplete stitches, then pull through all together to finish. Row 4 is completed. Starting from row 5, carry the yarn across to the corresponding position. Then refer to the chart for crocheting. Continue working back and forth on row 6. When encountering different stitch patterns combined, follow the previous method. Crochet the corresponding incomplete stitches. Note that this row only works on partial positions. After completing the last 3 treble crochets, in the 5 chain space on the left side, work 1 FPDTR. Let me demonstrate this technique. Yarn over 3 times. Insert the hook. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 4 times. The double treble crochet is completed. Row 6 is also complete. For rows 7-8, work back and forth following the pattern chart. Note that at the end of row 8, you need to work 1 FPDTR. Let me demonstrate this technique again. Yarn over 3 times. Insert the hook into the 4th chain stitch from the beginning of the previous row. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 4 times. The double treble crochet is completed. Row 8 is also complete. Cut the yarn. Now continue with row 9. Tidy up the fabric. Right side facing up. Locate the 5 chain space at the bottom left corner of section 3, row 5. Refer to the chart to check the position. On the right side are 4 consecutive 5 chain spaces. Join yarn from the wrong side. Then follow the pattern chart to crochet. You'll encounter a cluster pattern at the ending. Match the corresponding positions according to the chart sequence. Crochet the incomplete stitches at the designated spots. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. The cluster pattern is done. Row 9 is completed. Continue working back and forth for the next 2 rows according to the chart. After completing the last 4 chain stitches, join with a slip stitch to the first treble crochet stitch of row 10. Fasten off the yarn. Complete it as instructed. This completes section 3. The entire back body is done. Now let's learn the right front. Note, left and right refer to the wearer's perspective. It's also divided into section 1, section 2, and section 3. Section 1 uses the chain ring method for casting on. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The last row is worked back and forth. The crochet method for the first 6 rounds matches the back bodice section 1 first 6 rounds. Note, you can choose colors based on the back bodice, starting color segments. Or select starting colors according to your preference. Fit well with the back body while crocheting. Corresponding round dimensions should be identical, starting from the 7th round. There are 3 chain stitches between every 5 adjacent double crochets. End with 2 chain stitches. Then work a single crochet to join on the beginning chain. The chain stitches in all other positions remain 7. Starting the 8th round with 2 chains as beginning chain. Counts as 1/2 double crochet. Pay attention, mark the top chain stitch. The stitch pattern for this section and the ending differs from other positions. Pay attention and follow the pattern chart. For row 9, chain 4 to start this round. Turn your work and follow the pattern. Don't cut the yarn at the end. Complete this section. That concludes the demonstration for section 1. Section 2 continues upward from section 1 working back and forth. The new stitches used are double crochet, 2-in-1 and triple increase. Watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. Rows 1-3 work back and forth following the pattern. Cut the yarn at the end. On row 4, join yarn at the corresponding position on the wrong side and continue crocheting. All stitch techniques used have been demonstrated before. Just follow the pattern chart to complete it. Now I'll demonstrate row 5. Make 3 beginning chains. Turn your work and work 1 DC 2-in-1 into the edge stitch corresponding to the beginning chain. That means work 2 double crochets into the same stitch. 1 double crochet is now complete. Continue following the pattern. Continue following the pattern. At the end, work into the edge double crochet DC 2 in 1. Row 5 is complete. Continue to row 6. Make 3 beginning chains. Turn your work. Follow the pattern chart. At the end, work 1 DC and DC 3 in 1. Work 3 double crochets into the beginning chain. The DC 3 in 1 is now complete. Row 6 is complete. Continue working back and forth for the remaining rows. You can check the height against the back body as you crochet. The dimension above the underarm position should match. For the last row, remember to start with 4 beginning chains. Cut the yarn at the end. Please complete it. That concludes the explanation for section 2. Finally, crochet section 3. Work back and forth below section 1. Pay attention, start following the pattern chart from row 1. Join the yarn at the corresponding position. Make 4 slip stitches in the middle. Insert the hook into the corresponding chain space, and stitch to crochet. Do not tighten. Then work back and forth for row 2. At the end of row 2 here, you'll encounter a new stitch technique. A cluster of FPDTR, and 2 double crochets together. I'll demonstrate this method using a swatch. First refer to the pattern chart. Pick up the stitch below the same hole and the left stitch. Make 2 incomplete double crochets. Then into the second chain space on the left side. Make 1 incomplete double treble crochet. Yarn over 3 times. Insert the hook. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. The incomplete double treble crochet is done. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops in once. The cluster of FPDTR, and 2 double crochets together is completed. Row 2 is completed. For row 3, continue working back and forth. When encountering clusters with different stitch techniques, crochet accordingly using the previous method. Fasten off the yarn at the end. For rows 4 to 6, attach the yarn on the other side and crochet correspondingly. Similarly, fasten off the yarn at the end. Refer to the chart to complete it. That concludes the explanation for section 3 crocheting. The right front section is explained. Now let's learn the left front section. It's also divided into section 1, section 2 and section 3. The crochet method for section 1 is similar to the right front section 1. Pay attention to choose the color segment based on preference. The first 6 rounds are the same as before. For the 7th round, the stitch techniques at the beginning and ending positions need to follow the pattern chart. The joining technique at the end is different. The 8th round also follows the pattern chart for crocheting. Work back and forth on row 9. After completing, the dimensions should correspond to the right front section 1. Section 2 continues from section 1 below, working back and forth. The overall crochet method is similar to the right front section 3. Row 1 works back and forth directly, then work back and forth on rows 2 to 4. Pay attention that FPDTR and double crochet 2 together will also be encountered here. Everyone can crochet according to the previous demonstration. Continue crocheting afterward. When reaching positions where carrying the yarn across is needed, carry the yarn across using the previous method. Fasten off the yarn at the end. Then join yarn and continue crocheting rows 5 to 6. Pay attention that the end of row 6 is double crochet 2 together with treble crochet. On the right side, work from right to left. First make an incomplete double crochet, then make an incomplete treble crochet. Finally yarn over and pull through all loops. Pay attention not to make mistakes. Finally fasten off the yarn. Finally crochet section 3. Join yarn at the corresponding position above section 1. First work back and forth on this part. At the end of the last row here, there is 1 treble crochet increase. Work 2 treble crochets into the same stitch. Fasten off the yarn after completing, then on row 1 of this section. Join yarn and work back and forth for the remaining 2 rows. Finally fasten off the yarn. While crocheting, pay attention to check the dimensions as well. Refer to the chart. Review the previous demonstration. Complete these 3 sections. This completes the crocheting of the left front. After finishing the front and back bodies, proceed to join them together. Divide into 2 parts, shoulder seam and underarm side seam. Watch my demonstration for the specific joining method. First join the shoulders. Here I demonstrate using a swatch. Place the front and back bodies with the right side facing out and tidy them up. First join the right shoulder position. Flip the corresponding fabric pieces to the wrong side. Right sides together. Match up the shoulder parts. Position the back body facing you. Now begin joining. You can choose suitable color segments according to your preference for joining. First insert the hook into the stitches along the shoulder edge of the back body. And the top of the last row's beginning chain behind. Join the yarn. Then work a chain as a transition. Then skip 1 stitch. The exact number of skips can also be determined based on the length of the chain. Insert into corresponding stitches on both front and back pieces. Work 1 slip stitch. Slip stitches for joining do not need to be tightened. Pay attention to stretch it a bit. The fabric should have some elasticity. Continue with a chain stitch. Skip 1 stitch at corresponding positions on front and back. Work 1 slip stitch. Here the front piece is a chain space. Insert into the space and crochet. The number of transition chains here, the number of skipped stitches, and the insertion point can all be adjusted according to actual conditions. Just ensure the fabric pieces connect flat and look nice. Continue joining downward using this method. Continue joining until the last edge stitch. Cut the yarn. Hide both beginning and ending yarn tails. Complete this part. The right side will look like this. One shoulder is now joined. Join the other shoulder using the same method. Pay attention that the fabric shapes must correspond. Here you can place the front piece facing you. Start joining from the corresponding stitches. The method is the same. Refer to the previous demonstration to complete it. Look. This is what the swatch looks like after joining both shoulders. Next, join the underarm side sections. Continue with the wrong side out and tidy it up. Align the fabric edges. Refer to the chart. Secure the top and bottom corners of this side with stitch markers. The corner at the bottom of the back piece is a chain space. Pay attention to find the top chain of the beginning chain. Secure it together with the corresponding edge stitch. For the top corner of the back piece, pick up the corner space directly. Secure it with the top of the corresponding beginning chain. If you can't find the exact position, match the corner of the fabric. Secure several points in the middle. Ensure the fabric is evenly and flatly joined. Start joining from any end stitch. Start joining the swatch from the bottom. First pick the corresponding edge position to join yarn. Then crochet 3 chain stitches. Mindful not to crochet the chains too tight to prevent the fabric from shrinking. Then insert into the approximate front and back positions where the chains reach. Crochet slip stitches together. The exact position here is not fixed. Just ensure the pieces are evenly joined. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Then pick the corresponding edge position for slip stitch. The exact number of chain stitches here can be adjusted according to your preference. Continue joining downward using this method. If you encounter carrying yarn, weave the carried yarn into the stitches. At the ending, make sure to secure it properly. If there's not enough space here, you can adjust the number of chain stitches. Cut the yarn when completed. Tuck in the yarn tails. One side of the underarm section is now joined. Join the other underarm section using the same method. Complete this part. That concludes the joining process. Finally, learn how to add the edging. It consists of two parts, sleeve cuffs and overall edging. Start by crocheting the sleeve cuffs. Crochet in rounds around the armhole. The new stitch technique used is single crochet decrease. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. I'll demonstrate using the left sleeve as an example. Place the fabric with the right side facing up. Crochet around the armhole formed by the joining. Locate the underarm joining position. Work the first round. Join yarn on the joining edges beginning chain. Chain 1 as beginning chain. Make 1 single crochet in the same stitch. Work 1 single crochet on the left stitch. Make 1 single crochet in the chain space. Continue picking up chain spaces below, or 1 stitch on the fabric edge. Work the corresponding number of single crochets. Continue referring to the chart afterward. Pick up the corresponding position to work single crochets. Note that the chart demonstrates the insertion point for the right sleeve. For the left sleeve, work symmetrically at the corresponding position. You can also adjust the single crochet insertion points according to actual conditions. Ensure the single crochets are evenly distributed. Lay flat. Total stitches should correspond to the chart. Continue working single crochets downward. For the swatch, insertion points are random. At the shoulder joining position, pick approximate spots to work single crochets. When encountering carried yarn, weave it into the stitches. Check the stitch count after completion. Finish with a slip stitch. The first round is complete. Move on to round 2. Chain 1 to begin. Work 1 single crochet at the slip stitch position. Work 1 single crochet decrease below. First, correspondingly make 2 incomplete single crochets. Insert. Pull the yarn through. First stitch completed. Continue inserting into the adjacent stitch. Pull the yarn through. Second stitch completed. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. The single crochet decrease is finished. Work single crochets evenly in the following stitches. Continue all the way down until 2 stitches remain at the end. Reached the corresponding position. Note, the sample omits some positions here. You need to complete them in actual practice. Finally, work 1 single crochet decrease. First, correspondingly make 2 incomplete single crochets. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Single crochet decrease completed. Join with a slip stitch to finish. The second round is complete. For the next 2 rounds, work single crochets around corresponding to round 2, and decrease at the corresponding positions. Refer to the chart for specific decrease positions. Omitted sections don't require decreases. Work accordingly in each stitch. Join with a slip stitch to finish. Note, the final round ending can be fastened off. Here's a sample swatch demonstrating the fastening off method. Don't tighten the slip stitch at the end. Simply stretch the loop. Cut the yarn. Tuck the yarn tail from the slip stitch position to the wrong side through the left stitch. Then pull it through the braid where the yarn tail is located to the backside. Adjust it slightly. This way, the slip stitch marks won't be visible at the finish. The texture of the fabric looks neater. Just secure the yarn tails properly. This is the fastening off method. The right sleeve edge uses a similar crocheting method. Please refer to the previous demonstration to complete it. That concludes the explanation for crocheting the sleeve edges. Next, let's learn how to crochet the border around the entire piece. Crochet in rounds along the edges of the front and back bodies, and leave buttonholes at the corresponding positions on the right front. The new stitch techniques used are single crochet increase, SC2 in 1, and 3 SC in 1. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. First, work the first round. Before starting, mark the positions where you need to increase. First, locate the bottom corners of the left and right fronts. The adjacent corner position here. Mark the stitches on these 2 clusters. Then move upwards to find round 8 in section 1. That is, where there are consecutive double crochets and half double crochets. On the left front, mark the stitch to the left of the beginning chain. Take a look. Here is the chain stitch loop of the beginning chain. Mark the stitch to its left. On the right front, mark the insertion point of the cluster above. Mark the adjacent stitch below. Now begin working round 1 properly. Join yarn at the right side joining position below the right front. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in the same position. Then before the marked position. This section. Follow the pattern to work single crochets. Refer to the chart for specific insertion points. You can also adjust as needed. Keep the fabric flat. Just make sure the stitch count matches the chart. For the swatch, the insertion points are random. After completing a section, remember to check the number of stitches. Work a 3SC in 1 at the marked position. That is, work 3 single crochets into the same stitch. The 3SC in 1 is completed. Mark the middle stitch. Now for the section before the marked position. Continue to work single crochets following the pattern. Reach the marked position. That is, work 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Single crochet increase completed. Mark the first stitch. Continue following the pattern downward. Work single crochets along the edges of the front and back bodies. Pay attention to work the corresponding stitch technique for increasing at the marked position, and mark it. Convenient for the next round of crocheting. Work single crochets along the back body edge as well. Complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch. The first round is complete. The sample skips some positions here. Move on to round 2. Start with a beginning chain. Begin from the slip stitch join spot of the previous round. Work single crochets evenly into each stitch. Reach the corner stitch marker position. Chain 2. Skip the marker position. Continue single crochets starting from the left stitch. This creates 1 buttonhole. Pay attention to the corresponding number of single crochets. Chain 2. Skip 2 stitches below and continue single crochets. This buttonhole position can refer to the pattern chart, or adjust according to preference. When 2 stitches remain before reaching the marker position, chain 2 again. Skip 2 stitches below and make 1 single crochet. Single crochet increase. Refer to the chart and mark the increase positions for the next round. Continue to work single crochets correspondingly. When reaching the other side marker position, crochet symmetrically using the same method. No buttonhole needed. Increase at corners according to the chart. Complete this round. Join with a slip stitch to finish. The second round is complete. Continue crocheting single crochets in rounds for the next 2 rounds. Pay attention. On round 3, make 4 single crochets into the chain space at the bottom corner. Make 2 single crochets into each of the 2 buttonholes at the top. Make a single crochet increase at this marked position at the top. On the other side. At the bottom corner. Correspondingly make 2 single crochet increases. Remember to mark the positions for increasing in the next round. On the 4th round, crochet the corresponding increases at the marked positions. Finish off with a slip stitch. Use the same method as for finishing the sleeve cuff. Refer to the chart to complete it. This completes the explanation of the edging. The edging is now explained. Finally, sew on the buttons. Position the edging buttonholes on the upper side of the other panel. Once aligned, secure the buttons at the centered positions corresponding to the buttonholes. Choose your preferred color segments, and thread the needle for sewing. When sewing buttons, pay attention to keep the flower branches vertically aligned. Finally, tie a knot. Weave in the ends along the wrong side's texture. The method is simple. Complete sewing all buttons. This completes the button explanation. Up to this point, the entire garment explanation is finished. If you encounter any issues during crocheting, if there are any unclear parts, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.